Hi guys, and welcome back to Raymas Day 6. So I actually didn't have an intro for this video because I filmed it a little while ago, so I'm making a new intro right now. So welcome back to a new vlog, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I shall see you guys all tomorrow for Raymas Day 7. Exciting stuff. Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome back to a new video. So today's vlog, or today's video, is a good one. We got Lauren over there. So I have a big stack of books, sort of big stack of books right next to me. A little more here. Some of these you may have seen already, I just haven't read them. So it's in this list. This is the goal, to read all these books. I have not been reading very often lately, which is bad, so we're gonna try to fix that. So this is my reading list. If you'd like to read any of them, by all means. With that said, let us get into the books. Okay, so the first book I have is this one. It is called The Penguin Book of Norse Myths, Gods of the Vikings. I don't remember if this was in my last one. If it was, well, it's back again because I plan on reading it, or at least reading part of it. Like, it looks cool, like the Ballad of Sid.
How do you spell it?
I think that's a V. Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg?
No,
Oh, Snoop Dogg.
Sweet.
There are probably
Dag?
like
Sweet Dag?
in this video who are very offended by your Snoop Dogg.
I'm so sorry. I don't know. Let's find this one. The lay of no, I can't do this.
What I know is
Sleep near. Whoa! There's a sticky note in here. I didn't know this was in here.
what's it say?
It says Vikings, age 78, 780. Well, that is on the reading list. So the back of it says the extraordinary Scandinavian myth cycle is one of the most enduring, exciting, dramatic, and compelling of the world's great story. A series of intertwined tales which together form a strange and fantastical world teeming with gods, goddesses, heroes, and monsters, battles, and couplings. What are couplings? The Norse myths are as exciting to read as they are of vast culture and historical importance, taking us from the creation of the world to the building of Asgard's walls to the final end in Ragnarok, and featuring the exploits and adventures of such mythical figures such as Odin, Thor, Loki. I should just put their faces.
I feel like the fact because of Marvel they lose kind of their appeal as like this prestigious, like, oh yes we have gods, and they're like, oh yes, but they're not, so they're just like Thor, Loki.
Okay, moving on. The Penguin Book of Norse Myths brings alive the passion, cruelty, and heroism of these unforgettable stories. Wow, that's beautiful. So that's book number 1.
Notice the
Okay, moving on to book number 2 is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I almost said Mark. It's Mary Shelley. I'm so sorry, Mary. I did not mean to call you Mark. Just Mary. I'm so sorry. Goes Mary. I'm sorry, fans or relatives of Mary. Her name's Mary.
Sued by the Shelley estate.
So, Frankenstein. I picked this up at Kohl's, I think, in the mall. It was on sale for $6, I think. It was on a little table of classics for sale. So I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm gonna get it. And my mom said it's really good. So I'm like, okay. And also Shady, I think, really likes this book too. So I'm like, why not? So the back of it says, in an attempt to create a perfect new being, scientist Victor Frankenstein secretly assembles a collection of body parts and activates it with an electrical charge. When I hear this sentence, I just think of like the opening scene in like Phineas and Ferb when they're just like, or something Frankenstein's brain. You know what? If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Okay, back to the story. The result is a horrifying even to his makeup and is never named. His name's never named. That's what we're calling him. The hideous creature, that's kind of rude. Like,
have you seen this?
He didn't want to be that way. He was created that way. Like, why you gotta hate Frankenstein or whatever his no name? Jeez, okay. The hideous creature escapes the laboratory and searches in vain. See, he just wants a friend. He wants friendship. Like, come on. It's not his face he's ugly. It's not his fault he's ugly. Okay, moving on.
You are beautiful. You can do anything you set your mind to.
Okay. Despairing, he returns to Frankenstein and demands a partner and his right to happiness. He has that right. You go, man. But when Victor destroys her before she's... What? Oh, he does make her. Oh, okay. But when Victor destroys her before she's completed, the monster vows vengeance on everything he holds dear. Widely regarded as the first proper science fiction novel, Frankenstein provided the inspiration for a whole genre of horror stories in later films. This sounds like a fun book to read. Okay, next one is by Oscar Wilde, and it is The Picture of Dorian Gray. So it says, at 18, the handsome Dorian Gray has his portrait painted, which prompts an admirer. Lord Henry Wotton. It's not Wonton, it's like Wotton. Wotton. Okay, his name is Lord Henry Wotton. To declare that life is nothing without beauty and sensuous gratification. Suddenly scared of growing old and ugly, Dorian makes the fateful wish that the painted image should age rather than himself. Then, fearless of the consequences, he launches on a life of excess and depravity. Wilde's cautionary tale, published in 1891, that's an old-ass book, describes how every sin that Dorian commits is reflected in the portrait. The painting is banished to his attic, where the image finally becomes so loathsome that Dorian tries to destroy it. And this is why you don't make wishes on creepy paintings. That is the next book. Alright, this one, again, I don't remember if I included this in my last one, book video, but it's here again. And that is Eragon. I've been recommended this book by many people, but never actually read it. This is also book 3. Wait, is it the first book? I think it's a series. I think this is the book. This is the first book, right?
I don't know.
I think it's a series though. I think this is the first one. What is he doing here? Bear with me if there's any background noise. My father has returned home. Okay, anyway, like I was saying, I was talking about Eragon because it's such an exciting story. Okay, so when Eragon, wait, oh, I thought Eragon was the dragon. No, it's not. Okay, when Eragon finds a polished blue stone in the forest, he thinks it is the lucky discovery of a poor farmer boy. Perhaps it will buy his family meat for the winter. It sounds awful lot like Jack and the Beanstalk. But when the stone brings a dragon hatchling, Eragon soon realized he has stumbled upon a legacy nearly as old as the Empire itself. Overnight, he's thrust into a perilous new world of destiny, magic, and power. With only an ancient sword and the advice of an old storyteller for guidance, Eragon and the fledgling dragon must navigate the dangerous terrain and dark enemies of an empire ruled by a king whose evil knows no bounds. Can Eragon take up the mantle of the legendary dragon riders? The fate of the empire may rest in his hands.
This sounds like a mix of Merlin, How to Train Your Dragon, and Jack and the Beanstalk.
It does. It really does. It's a whole thing. It's a big book though. That's a thick one. That's a thick one. How many pages in this book? 754. It's a big boy. This book has literally been recommended by so many people and they're like, it's so amazing, Randy, and you would love to read it. So I'm like, okay, so I found it at like a secondhand store. I think it was Value Village. And I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get it. It was like $1. And I have yet to read it. It's been like 2 years since I got this book. Okay, this one I know 100% was in my last reading book video. I started it, but then I kind of like got sidetracked by other things and I haven't actually finished it, and that is Deluxe. I won't read the back of it just because it is in my last one, but as like a summary, it's basically about these two sisters who live in Manhattan and they live like a life of lavish and parties and indulgences and stuff like that, and then they realize after their world starts crumbling down that everything isn't exactly as picture perfect as they like it to be, and life isn't so innocent, and it's a mystery, romance, jealousy, betrayal, humor, and all the historical things. It's kind of confusing, but it's interesting, and I really need to get back into this book. Okay, next one. Oh wait, who's the author?
Anna Goberson.
Is by Anna Goberson. This next one, I'm sure some of you have probably seen this. Either you've read it, actually seen it, or I don't know. But I got this a year ago. I wrote it down somewhere. July 31st, 2016, so 2 years ago. It's been a while. And that is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling, John Tiffany, and Jack Thorne. It is the, it's the play, basically. Yeah, it's the play. It's divided up like a play. I know my parents saw, like, when they went to London, they actually saw like the sign and stuff like that where you could go see the show in like the theater. So I've been meaning to read this for like the longest time ever. I think all I know is that it happens after like the Harry Potter series.
I know that Bellatrix.
Okay then, on that note, let's move on.
It's a spoiler, so like don't.
Yeah, spoilers. I'll bleep that out. Again, this is another one. I don't remember if it was in my last video, but that is The Fox and the Hound. This is an old time. Oh my goodness, there are things falling out of this book. Okay, has anyone, like, I'm sure most of you have seen like the Disney movie, Fox and the Hound. So that's what this story is. It is by Daniel P. Mannix. And this is what the little inscription says. On the inside flap is this remarkable animal story, 1967 winner. Wait, no, that's not the story. Okay, here. One is a fox, the other a hound. As he tells their story, Daniel P. Mannix brilliantly evokes the world of each animal, the dog devoting his instinct and ingenuity wholeheartedly to the service of his master, and the fox welcoming risks, roaming his own range, interrupting his wild freedom to help raise a family of pups as carefully and anxiously as any human parent. Copper, the half-bred bloodhound, is a favorite in his master's pack of hounds and fighting dogs. He lives for the hunt, picking up a scent and following it with painfully learned tactics. Whether this quarry be bear, deer, or man, there is one animal he longs to bring to bay, the red fox whom his master pursues with single-mindedness. The fox is Todd, named by a man who rescued him as an orphan pup and raised him among humans for his first year of life. Then Todd continues on back. Returned to the wild. He's returned to the wild, and you share the excitement of Todd's strong young life, the thrills of his hunting and mating. Discover how he acquires dozens of quick-witted strategies to outwit his constant pursuers. In chapters filled with action and little-known hunting and nature lore, you follow the life and death contest of the fox and the hound from the first breathtaking hunt through many memorable encounters to the last hunt of all, which is intensely dramatic ending. That's very different than the Disney one, but that is the other one. It's like, forget it, we got a classic on this reading list as well. So, this is the final one. I'm currently reading this book. I'm only on like chapter 10 of it. I want to do a review when I'm done it about my thoughts and feelings. I saw the movie and I love the movie and the book is really funny, but we're still getting it. We haven't gotten to the juicy stuff yet. And that is Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. So, the movie, if you haven't seen it already, is hilarious. It's super good. Definitely recommend it if you can watch it. I don't think it's in theaters anymore, so when it comes out, definitely go watch it. So, alright, read the back. So, when New Yorker Rachel Chu agrees on a summer in Singapore to visit her boyfriend's traditional Chinese family, she expects the trip to be relaxing, if a little dull. She has no idea. Nick's childhood home is a palace. He grew up riding in more private planes than cars. He and Rachel will be attending the wedding of the year. Oh, and Nick just happens to be one of Asia's most eligible bachelors, and his formidable mother isn't so sure Rachel is the right one for him. So far, it is like amazing. I'm loving it. It's hilarious. And it also is really cool thing about this book is that it will have like little stars throughout the text, and then at the bottom it has like in the footnote kind of areas it will say like, oh, what the meaning of that word is. So like it actually uses like different Chinese words in like the story and like part of their conversations and like dialect, and then it explains what it means and like, oh, this is like a Malaysian slang for like this thing, or like this is Cantonese for that, which is really cool because you're learning something while you're reading it. So it's like a win-win situation. Fun stuff in here. So far I'm liking it, but I will hopefully do a review of it at the end of my thoughts and opinions, a whole overview about how I feel about the story. So stay tuned for that. And that also brings us to the end of my book series, or my book reading list. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope maybe you may pick up one of these books and read it as well, because they all seem like very interesting books. And yes, stay tuned for updates on that Crazy Rich Asians ones, because I'm getting through it. I think it's divided into parts though. It's like part 1, part 2, part 3. From my understanding, that is how it is structured. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. So I hope you guys have liked this video. If you haven't already, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below, and I shall see you guys all in my next YouTube video. Bye.